Annese, with the regular season wrapped up and a couple of days of playoff prep. How are you feeling as your team heads into play Grand Valley first round?
Well, I feel great about what this team has done this year. It's kind of a funny deal, because people kind of feel like we haven't been good, but minus like one bad quarter of football, and that was the first quarter of GV last time. We've played great football, really good football. Some people say, well, you've got 2 losses. Well, one was to the number 3 team in FCS, and that was a dogfight. And the other is obviously to GV, who beat us last year in the regular season. So I thought we played great. I thought our kids were, just stuck together when we had some adversity, and so I'm really proud of them.
Who's going to be the acting head coach on Saturday, and how are you divvying up the coaching responsibilities?
Coach Brian Rock is going to be the acting head coach. He's the assistant head coach, which is, the job title is to do everything that I don't want to do, which is a lot. And so he's done that a lot. And then the rest of them are just coaching their deal. So, it's not like, on game day, other than just a little bit of screaming and yelling, that I do much other than just hope that we win.
I know you like to golf. If the weather stays like it is, you're going to spend Saturday on the links, or you're going to be in front of the TV watching? What are you going to be doing at game time on Saturday?
I haven't determined that yet. I guess I'll have to check with my 2 granddaughters to see what they're doing, and maybe I'll just hang with them and watch the game from the TV. But I, technically speaking, can be at the game. Just can't. I got to buy my own ticket and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's a good idea. So I still haven't sorted it out.
And then, kind of in familiar territory, last year, lost during the regular season, went back there, won in the playoffs. I mean, what's kind of just give me this year to last year? What's different, and how can you guys get the win again?
Well, it's very similar. Okay, they're, they're a great football team, and I said that last year. Maybe that's why the NCAA gets mad at me, but I said that last year when we won the national championship. I said that Grand Valley, Pitt State, Northwest Missouri State were all teams that could potentially have won the national championship last year, and I truly believe that. And so I don't know, maybe I mouthed off too much about how good other teams in our region are, but they're really good, and we're just going to have to go over there and play great football to beat them. But they're going to have to play great football to beat us. So it's the way it's been. It's been that way for a long time. I can go back in history and say, oh, when's the last time it was easy? Well, it's never been easy for either of us. And so it's just 2 great football programs fighting it out, and we just happen to be within 60 miles of each other.
And then what was your reaction on Sunday to facing Grand Valley in the first round? Were you kind of shocked at all?
Yeah, I was. I wasn't shocked, okay, because I don't know why I said this. When people said, why would they suspend you for the first playoff game? My answer was, well, because they're going to put us against Grand Valley. That was in March of last year. So I don't know why I felt that way, but it is what it is. It's a tough draw, and it's always a tough draw in Region 3, and we've been able to, win that region quite a few times in recent history.
Missing out on a game like this, not because it's just the playoffs, but your biggest rival, what struggles or emotionally are you going through knowing you can't be there on the sideline with them?
That's a great question. So I'm trying to remind myself, one of my favorite quotes is, self-pity is one of the greatest forms of self-destruction. So when I stop feeling sorry for myself, and it's hard, it really is hard. But when I stop feeling sorry for myself and trying to put it into perspective, I know my team has my back. I hope they fight harder than they would if I was on the sidelines. And and I don't play. The last time I played, I had 4 touchdowns, 3 receiving, 1 running. It was against Notre Dame back in the day when they had a legendary coach, and And so that's the last time I played. And read about it. You'll see it. You'll see it in the record books.
I asked the other two guys about what they're going to miss most about you. It was your yelling. Does that surprise you that that's the first thing they think of when they think of missing you on the sideline?
Well, I've got a really loud voice, and actually I was up at Michigan Tech, and Pat Collins, the son, plays at Tech, and so he was at the game, and he's the head coach at West Ottawa now. And after the game, we talked, and he goes, "Dude, do you realize I can hear every word that you're saying from the other side of the field?" And I said, "That's awesome, So I just try to motivate people, particularly. I don't turn my back to the field hardly ever. And so on defense, even though I'm not part of that play calling, I'm trying to motivate guys just to play really hard. And so I remember a few years ago, I said, "Come on, Ian. I mean, we need you right now. Get a sack." And then he got a sack. And so everybody's like, "Dang, you got him going." But that's kind of the deal. But, motivation is more intrinsic than extrinsic, so they're just going to have to get that without me being there to get them going.
And my last question, can you talk about every time these two teams play, it's a classic, and does this circumstance make this feel different to you, going into the playoffs, not being able to be there?
Well, it does, yeah. First off, there's some kids on that team I really respect, and, when you're a coach in the GLIAC and you assess, just great play, okay? So whoever wins this game, okay, I want to say to whoever isn't the winner, what a career, right? So obviously I hope Ferris State wins the game, but I want to say to Kate Peterson, wow, what a career, or to Abe Swanson, wow, what a superstar you are. And I actually caught him during the regular season game and said, "Hey, if I never see you again, I want to say how great of players you guys were." And so that's just part of it, just having the respect you have for just superstar players, whether it's Ferris State players, Grand Valley players, their coaching staff, our coaching staff. That's going to be, it's going to be hard not being able to communicate that. But other than that, again, self-pity is the greatest form of self-destruction, so I just got to suck it up and be a big boy.
What are some challenges in playing a quality team like Grand Valley twice in a month?
Well, we've you can go back in history and how many times we've played them over the course of the last few years. I guess this is 2021, we played them twice. 2022, we played them twice. Now 2023, we're playing twice. So that's 6 times in 3 years, okay? And so the familiarity becomes, really challenging. And, their defensive coaches have gotten better over time, getting after us. So then we have to, come up with stuff to try to help ourselves. Our defense staff has to figure out ways to, stop some of their best stuff. So they've got the same challenges that we have. The familiarity is very challenging, and plus they're really good, right? I mean, they're really good, and their coaches are really good, and so it makes it really hard.
Obviously not the best start for your team in that first matchup. What are some of the keys to making sure you avoid falling into a 35-point deficit?
We'll get a faster start is one, right? We went 3 and out. We coached very poorly at the first part of that game. I guarantee you that my staff is going to coach better in the first part of this next game than I did in the last game. Promise you that. So it was poor coaching at the beginning. I changed the punters out, hoping that one of our super legs, who's a quarterback, would punt it good. He punted it like 20 yards. He shanked it. And so we gave him a short field. And then, it comes down to playmakers making plays. They made all the plays in the early part of that game. Cody Tierney made a great catch on us. Kyle Knott made a super catch on us. And they were all 50-50 balls. So if that happens again, we probably won't win. If we make the plays, and we got a really good chance of winning, and that's just the nature of football.
Do you get a sense for how your team is feeling given getting another shot to take down Grand Valley?
Well, we know we're going to get them, right? So I don't know if there's any vengeance here. In 2021 was really the only time when we played them. The playoffs is the only time somebody swept someone. We swept them in both games. But in 15 it was a split. In 16 it was a split. And then last year it was a split. So it just goes to show you, that's when two good teams hit together. So hopefully we're confident and we believe that we can knock them off, and we're able to do that.
Do you think it's time for the NCAA to look at maybe tweaking or changing the way it draws out its bracket, given that we're going to see the number 2 versus number 3 team in round 1?
No comment. It's probably something I really don't talk about. I think possibly people probably have their own opinions to that, and I'm guessing most opinions I would agree with.
Final one from me. Head coach suspensions are a popular topic right now in Michigan. Obviously, you're probably aware of what's going on at the University of Michigan. Do you know Coach Harbaugh? And if you do, have you talked about kind of the situations that you guys find yourselves in this week?
No, I haven't talked to Coach Harbaugh. I do know him, but I'm just going to say it this way. I don't know what all the factors are involved in their circumstance, but I know this much. Smoking cigars in the locker room doesn't give you a competitive advantage. And so I know that nothing that we've done gave us a competitive advantage. Our team has to go out there and perform. And like I said, I'm not saying that something they did, but it's really different if that did happen. So, which again, I don't know all the facts behind it.
I don't know if anybody brought it to your attention, but there was a Twitter post that said maybe you guys should swap jobs this week. Maybe he should coach Ferris on Saturday. You should coach Michigan on Saturday, and you guys will both be available. Is what the post said.
I would say that if we do an evaluation of how much money you make in a day, and they split that up, I'm all for it, right? I'll take that 1 day salary that divide whatever the millions are into 1 day, and it's more than I make in 1 year, but so I take it.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this
All right,
weekend.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.